everyone. It is going to be a beautiful day here. Yesterday was cold, windy. It's a lot windy here. I thought about that. This little town here, little town, is getting bigger. That two of my daughters live in. It's a beautiful town. It's still a beautiful town. Still a beautiful town, and very comfortable living here. And it hasn't grown a whole lot, though it is growing now over so many years. And I wondered, it's a beautiful area. Why? It's the wind. It's windy here 75% of the time. And it's always a little windy, and if it's not a little windy, then it gets really windy. So I think that's one of the reasons that why this area right here hasn't really been populated all that much. But one can get around that, right? Yes, you build proper porches. Okay. But having lived here in Kentucky, where I live in southeastern Kentucky, I think all over Kentucky it's kind of the same. The inconsistency when it comes to weather, I've never experienced that anywhere in the world before. It's yesterday, it was cold. You could tell within an hour or two, and even the temperature, or the day before, the temperature went down. It was cold at night, and it was cold during the day. Then last night it started to warm up. I had the door open, and it was it was cool last night, but I didn't have the heat on. I had the door open most of the night so Gus could go in and out. And June, and this morning it's pleasant. It's cool, but it's pleasant. Yes. You never know what you're going to get. And it's not just because it's March. And it's in February like that. It's in January like that. It's just, that's it. Never lived anywhere. Now I've been here for over 20 years where the weather is so inconsistent. Yes? All right. So, and I'm assuming it's been like this. Yes? The rain, too. You never know what you're going to get. Never had not. Okay. There was a couple of years where it got really dry. I remember at the farm where it came down to the point where to say, I'm going to have to start getting the water from the pond for the horses. And then I thought, well, they can go down there too. Okay. So, where it got really dry, and then it just gets really wet. And yes, we had flooding again, not here, not at the farm, but otherwise people were flooded in. They had to get them out with a boat. But just interesting. And the weather here it's so weather forecast, forget that. Right? Yes, I saw that here while they were doing the push. It says, oh, it's gonna rain. Right? No. My brother-in-law said, oh, it will be nice for the next couple of days, right? Then a few hours later, he goes, oh, the 10%, 15% chance of rain has now risen to, now we have to worry. So we went to 2 nice days, right? Yes? Just saying. So, but it's going to be a beautiful day. I can tell it's going to be sunny. It's not windy right now, at least not. Okay, it's always a little windy here, and it'll be a nice day to work in the garden. Yes. And it's Saturday, so everybody's off. My son-in-law got sick, probably had a touch of the flu, only stayed home one day, and the next day he went to work. I don't know how people do that. When I get sick, I'm sick for a week at least. Anyway, okay, so but otherwise, everybody's fine. Yes, no. So far, I haven't caught anything. Knock on wood. Little superstition going on. Well, if it don't do no good, it won't do no harm. Stuff, something like that, right? Yes. Okay. Uh, we are in Proverbs 23. We're getting to the end of this. I'm trying to be more consistent on just reading one a day. It's just, again, it was Monday and now it's Saturday. Where did the time go? Things change too. My daughter has gone to work a little earlier. They want her to come in an hour earlier, preferably 2, which means she has to get up either at 4 or 5. And since hubby was sick, then I need to be over there taking care of the baby. Yes, okay. So change of time here. I'm still working on that. Was it daylight savings time? I don't know. It messes with me as it messes with the animals and the baby. Yeah, that's another thing too. Okay, I'm not going there. Somebody behind a desk, nothing to do, no children, no family, no animals, right? Made some weird decision. Interestingly enough, a lot of people are going for it. And I'm going, why? Think of everybody out there. What does it matter if you got an hour extra here or an hour less here? I mean, what does it matter? Oh, besides that, my granddaughter, the first day after that, she got up, she says, Grosie, it's dark again outside when she went on the bus in the morning. I said, yeah, right there, And for us, when my children were younger, they had to, there's about half a mile from the farm, our house, out to the county road, right, to catch the bus. And they often had to walk that. Yes. And yeah, it felt much better for me when it was daylight for them to walk out than in the dark. Yeah. And I did often drive them out just because I was worried, especially in these times right now. Animals are waking up. Where do we live? We live in the wilderness here in the mountains, right? The animals are waking up from their winter sleep really hungry. Bears, coyotes. Okay, coyotes don't overwinter, but still. And they're looking for food. Yes? So, just saying. All you people out there living in cities, this, that, and I don't know where, and you're going, oh yeah, daylight savings time. That's so great. Think of everybody out there. Yes? Okay. I'm just saying. Stupid stuff. Then I heard that they want to do another hour. I'm going, what? You're going to go all the way around the clock and then we have what? We gain a day? Okay, yeah, go. You know what? Not even going there. just don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, leave it as God has created it. What's wrong with the time frames that we have? Which also people put in place, but it is kind of guided by, yes, on how the world turns, how the moon cycles. Okay, yes. That's how God created things. Well, let's just leave it as that. Are you unhappy? People unhappy with the way God created day and night? That's a weird one to me. Okay, as I said, it's weird. Why come up with these inventions that make absolutely no sense? Okay, not to me anyway. All right, then I'll get going. Yes. Book of Proverbs 23. If you take your seat at a great man's table, take careful note of what you have before you. If you have a big appetite, put a knife to your throat. I gotta do that. Do not hanker for his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. I could take this many different ways. I'm not going to get into it. Why would one need that kind of advice? Oh, there's one thing that comes to my mind while I just read this, and it is about food. So it talks about food. You want to talk about food? Okay, let's take this as food and not as, because otherwise you could put it in there in a way that if it's wisdom, explain it in a way that you actually mean it. Right? Yes? Okay. Oh, this isn't about food. Okay, probably not about food. It's just food is used as an example. Why? This is wisdom. This isn't poetry. Otherwise, says, oh, it's poetry. Yeah, they say things differently so that you have to figure out what they actually mean. Okay. But this isn't supposed to be that way. This is supposed to be guidance from sages. Okay. There's a few years ago, my brother-in-law loves watching documentaries about many different things, and one thing came up is this little whale. Is it a little whale? I think it's a little whale, and it's on the endangered species list now. Do you know why? Because there's one part of this whale or fish. I think it is considered a whale, most likely because it's a mammal in the water. There is this one part of this fish, whale, that one small part, I can't remember if it's the liver or the kidneys or some other thing in the fish that people want to eat. No, I can't remember why. Probably because then they become immortal or something. Yes, yeah. Or more virile, is that right? Virile, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's especially for men. Okay, men again? And they are killing off almost, they're killing off too many for this one little part in that fish to eat. And in order to eat that little part in that whale, you're paying, I think it was like at that time, it was like $10,000 or even more. $10,000 for a plate of food with that itty bitty little thing on there from that whale. It's been hunted down to almost extinction. Yeah, beware of that. What does this matter? So then we don't have that whale anymore, and then then you can put it in your registry that you were one of them that got to eat some of that. Yeah, whatever. And for what exactly? Just saying. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Beware. I guess one should beware when you are around rich people what you get pulled into it because what money can afford. Right. So yeah. What did Jesus say? The first come last and the last come first. And one can understand that also in many different ways. And I'd say, yeah, there's probably something to it here. Right? Beware, beware. A great man's table. Well, if it's a great man, then you should be safe, right? Would a great man lead you astray? I don't know. Is it possible? I guess. But then they're not great men. So what is this? Okay, just saying. I believe that God created every living thing, anything out there for a particular reason to keep things in balance. Yes? Yeah. Yes, it's probably a good thing that dinosaurs aren't alive anymore. But the dinosaurs came before man. Yes? There was, again, a specific reason why dinosaurs existed and contributed with their huge amount of bodies and this and that, right? And whatever they were made up of to some resources then for us to draw on. Oh, to abuse and build things, isn't that then is, well, what you could consider self-destruction of mankind? Okay, no. But again, yes, we're not all that smart, really, when it comes down to the smartest species supposedly on Earth, and we're lacking big time. And I don't always do good either. All right, do not wear yourself out in quest of wealth. Oh. Stop applying your mind to this. Fix your gaze on it, and it is there no longer. Okay, now the second part here, that's odd. For it is able to sprout wings like an eagle that flies off to the sky. Is that a rich person talking to a poor person? Don't try to get rich. Go ahead with the sacrifices and all that. You need to keep giving because because it's not a good idea to be wealthy. Oh, really? Why not? I'm just saying, right? Yes. So how is this all set up in here? Again, to keep the people where higher ups want them to be, with their giving and their tributes and their taxes and stay hardworking. Don't try to get rich, and make sure you take care of the king. And how many others? I'm just saying. Yes, okay. I'm just saying, it's just odd to me and how this is just set up. There we go. Okay. Do not eat the food of anyone whose eye is jealous. Do not hanker for his delicacies. So, again, sages. Is this really sages? Is this still the king talking? How often do they get poisoned? Okay, that's what comes to my mind right away. Right? Yes? I don't have to. Well, do not eat the food of anyone whose eye is jealous. Well, what does that mean? Do not hanker for his delicacies. What does that mean? For what he is really thinking about is himself. Eat and drink, he tells you, but his heart is not with you. You will spit out whatever you have eaten and find your compliments wasted. Do not waste words on a fool who will not appreciate the shrewdness of your remarks. Shrewdness? Okay, I kind of do understand. Sometimes I say something to someone who just said something in my opinion. Say, man, okay, you do realize you do sound dumber than a coal bucket. And then I try to put in a little bit of, in a way, I try to say something back that sounds even worse, right? To kind of get the person to realize what they just said, right? Yes, is that what it's meant? And don't waste your words on a fool. And oftentimes they still don't get it. It's true. It's kind of true, but you have to keep trying, right? Yes, especially when it's people you love. Do not displace the ancient boundary stone or encroach on orphans' lands, for they have a powerful avenger, and he will take up their cause against you. And who is that? Who is that powerful avenger? Who are they talking about? It's not God. And if that were true, there would not be any orphans, or rather, homeless orphans. It's just saying, apply your heart to discipline and your ears to instructive sayings. Yeah, I listen, and then when I come across certain things, I go and do my own research. I do. I've always done that. It is. It's important to do that if you do not want to fall into the pit of being made look like a total fool when you find out, oh, I just went along with someone who said something. Yes, because it sounded good, sounded great, and then find out it wasn't true. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Do not be chary of correcting a child. A stroke of the cane is not likely to be fatal. Give him a stroke of the cane, you will save his soul from Sheol. I think if a stroke of the cane, okay, it doesn't say a continued beating, right? Yes. All right, a slap on the butt, a slap on the hand, grabbing a child by the shoulder, say, hey, what did I just say? Right? Yes. One should not avoid, okay, one should not avoid the confrontation of having to discipline a child in the appropriate way. It does not say here, beat the child senseless, right? That is something that if you decide to use your hands against your children, you have to be in control of yourself, and you never ever do it in anger. Yes? So, this is very cautious. This isn't, yeah, you're allowed to. And in the Bible it says you're allowed to spank your kids. No, this cautions you against overuse of that and excessive force. Yes, too many children get beaten up out there by adults. It's just wrong. How are you going to look at it? How's a child going to look at you? You're twice the size or even more, and you're beating up a little kid. How cowardly is that? Huh? Just saying. What? We're grown-ups and we have no other way to control a child or to instruct a child or to discipline. There's many ways to discipline a child, and it'll make way more an impact on the child than beating it. Okay? Yes? What? Are we that dumb as adults that we have to that we can't raise and instruct a little human being without that? That's weird to me. It just is. Anyway, my child, if your heart is wise, then my own heart is glad, and my inmost self rejoices when from your lips come honest words. Aww. There you go. That's out of 23. I guarantee you this is the best one. And there would not need be, my child, if your heart is wise, then my own heart is glad, and my inmost self rejoices when from your lips come honest words. There you go. What if everyone were to just take that to heart? Yes? If you're a believer, if you're truly a believer in God, in the Heavenly Father, in our Heavenly Parent, be interesting, right? Yes? Uh, Liar, Liar, I think this was a movie a long time ago, but the guy couldn't lie anymore. He was just used to lying, right? To his children even, this and that, and then he couldn't. He had to tell the truth. He had to tell the truth every time. It'd be interesting, right? Yes? Yeah. I have kind of adapted. Are you telling me the truth? And looking people at, are you telling me the truth? Oh, you should see some of the reactions. It's very interesting. Yes? Yeah. Do I always tell the truth? According to my own knowledge, yes, I do. According on how, am I honest with my feelings? Yes, I am. And I am not afraid to convey that as well. I think you guys should know that by now, having watched enough videos. Am I always right? No. Do not let your heart be envious of sinners, but remain steady every day in the fear of Yahweh, for there is a future, and your hope will not come to nothing. Did that just sound good to you guys? Okay. Do not let your heart be envious of sinners. Why the heck would I be envious of sinners? Anybody want to explain that to me? So what's going on here? Listen, my child, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. The problem, I think, is during that time is that people just weren't taught that way. They weren't taught the way. They were just said, you have to stay on the way. People go, yeah, that's it, yeah. What's the way? Anybody know? Right? What were the Levites doing among the Israelites? They were supposed to do what? They weren't doing their job. Do not be one of those forever tippling wine, nor one of those who gorge themselves with meat. For the drunkard and glutton impoverish themselves, and sleepiness is clothed in rags. nor one of those who gorge themselves with meat. Okay, so this is in the Bible here, right? Yes, I'm assuming there aren't anyone that's a carnivore out there now on this carnivorous diet, okay, where you only eat meat and eggs and butter and bacon and okay, and nothing else. I'm assuming you're not a Christian then, right? Well, that it's in here. Nor do not be one of those forever tippling wine, nor one of those who gorge themselves with meat. It's in here, right? Yes. Okay. I don't know. All right. Again, maybe at that time, I have no idea. I don't know what that meant at that time. I know that it does not apply at this time. Not at least not in this country. Yes. And there are some sad stories I know about things like that. Yeah. with people, and one tries regardless. And that's the thing again. I believe, and I could be wrong on this one. I believe that if the people out there are honest, who are having certain problems that they want to change. Some people don't want to change. They're happy with however they're living. Right? I'm not going to go and tell them to do different if they're happy with how they're doing things. But if not, there's always someone that will come your way, that God sends people's way if they really want to change. Even if they lament to change. Yes. And then it's up to the people who have indulged a little too much in certain things to then make a decision. And otherwise, stop lamenting. Just stop. Stop whining. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. I don't want to hear it, because I believe that everyone out there who has asked for help gets it. Maybe sometimes not in the magnitude that you want, but in the magnitude that you need it, that you truly need it. Then we have to do our own part, right? Yes? Okay. Listen to your father from whom you are sprung. My dad wasn't there. Do not despise your mother in her old age. Would never do that. Some other people should remember that as well. Purchase truth, never sell it. Well, if I purchase truth, from whom am I purchasing it? And did that person purchase it? Then they shouldn't be selling it. But if I'm purchasing, okay, not going there. That's a puzzle right there. You tell me. It's like, who comes first, the chicken or the egg? Wisdom, discipline, and discernment. The father of the upright will rejoice indeed. He who fathers a wise child will have joy of it. Your father and mother will be happy, and she who bore you joyful. Yeah. Sometimes it takes parents a little while to figure out how amazing their children actually are. I believe that all of my children are amazing, and they have their own little problems or their own way to go on the restoration path and all. I hope I do my part, that I'm not adding to their burden, especially spiritual burden when it comes to that. Yes. I am living here right now with one of my daughters. Yes, in a little tiny house. Yeah, I could scratch that off my bucket list. And taking care of the littlest one. Yes. But one could also say they take amazingly good care of me. Yes. Okay. Oh, so now as a parent, I have become a burden to my children. Well, first of all, there's a give and take here. But here's the other thing. I've taught my children that from little on. I'm taking care of you now. I'm going to love you and take care of you and give you the best that I can, and will support you in all that is good and right? And be there for you to get you out of your muck if needed. And when the time comes, you will take care of me. I taught my children that from little on. And you know what? All of my children take care of me. Yes? Isn't that cool? So, yeah, it's true. Your father and mother will be happy, and she who bore you joyful. Absolutely am I joyful over my children. Especially in the way that they're willing to take care of their old mom. Yeah, and I can tell they fight over me. Yeah. My oldest daughter just came and got me to take care of her two. And I had to help them get off the bus because she couldn't be there. And the littlest one, my younger granddaughter, the bus driver has to see you at the door, so otherwise she won't let them off the bus until they get older. Then it's okay. But so she came and she got me, and we had a great talk. It was wonderful, and then she had to get back to work. And then my other daughter's like, well, Mom, you better be ready at 3:30. I'm going to come and pick you up. And then she told me about summertime where, well, she says, I understand that actually over here it's better for you with all of them, but I still want you to come over there for, I want you to be there too at my house, Isn't that cool? Yes. All right, all right. Must have done something right. Yes. If, as a parent, you don't have that in your life, then you got to look at yourself first. See what happened. What happened? Where did it happen? And then try to restore it. It's never too late. And here's the other thing. Sometimes children need to be told, you're going to be, I took care of you. If you did that, now I need your help to take care of me. That's the give and take between children and parents. Hello? Yes? Respect your elders. Huh? Honor thy father and mother. What do you guys think that's all about? Okay, just saying. Okay. My child, pay attention to me. Let your eyes take pleasure in my way. A prostitute is a deep pit. Now, where are we going here with this? A narrow well, the woman who belongs to another. Oh. Ah, yeah. Well, here, the men, here, it's, at least it is evened out here. It's not just women. Yes, like a brigand, she lies in wait, increasing the number of lawbreakers. Who are the lawbreakers here? The men. Again, how are men expect to be the subject and women are the object? Well, it's part of the divine principle. Huh? Oh, they run with it. Yes, they run with it. Yet, what? You are not in control of your lower part of your body when it comes to that? What does it matter how many women come and go, oh, honey, come on, and show their cleavage or more even, and I don't know what. And you're immediately going, oh, I don't have a wife. I don't have 5 minutes of lust. Can destroy so much. Huh? Yes? Do you think that it is in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery, is in there because, oh, that's just a bad sin there and that? No, it's because our Heavenly Parent already knows if you do that, you're destroying your life and you're destroying other people's lives. It's again, these commandments aren't out there as a command. They're out there to save you, to keep you from making the biggest mistakes of your life because they're so destructive. Right? You see? When you really read the Ten Commandments and you think of why they are there, the consequences of breaking these commandments, then you start to understand that these commandments are just filled with love for us. Yes. Just saying. For whom is pity? For whom contempt? For whom is strife? For whom complaint? For whom blows struck at random? For whom the clouded eye? For those who linger over wine too long. Okay, you know what? What is this first part? And for those who linger over wine too long, ever on the lookout for the blended liquors. What's that have to do with the... Okay, you know what? I don't know. Do not gaze at wine, how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, how smoothly it slips down the throat. In the end, its bite is like a serpent's. It stings as sharp as an adder's. Well, somebody must have written that down that had experience with that themselves. How would you know that? Your eyes will see peculiar things. You will talk nonsense from your heart. You will be like someone sleeping in mid-ocean, like one asleep at the masthead. Struck me, have they? But I'm not hurt. Beaten me, I don't feel anything. When shall I wake up? I'll ask for more of it. That's a weird one. I don't know what to say to that one. But now I'm thinking that maybe whoever wrote Proverbs 23, maybe 22, maybe may have looked a little too deep in the cup. Yes? Okay. There's one thing I know that I've spent time with people who, okay, I don't know how anybody gets stone drunk. I don't know how that works. And I don't know how, I mean, I've seen people where to say, wow, why aren't people recording this? Well, then people think it's funny, actually, when they see how stupid they act when they have too much of this or that, right? But just sitting there and talking to people, and there's a little bit of alcohol involved, one can have wonderful, great conversations. So, yeah, it does say too deep, right? for those who linger over wine too long. All right. I think it's a warning. Yes. I don't think that you're not allowed. I do not believe that with what God created out there and we happen to find by accident. That's a weird one, right? That, oh, right? A lot of the drugs that people are using recreational for whatever crazy purposes are actually medicine for many different things. But because it's being abused out there, sadly, in the pharmaceutical industry, now it's also getting abused. Anyway, many other things where that as human beings we have not realized that it is not about money. It's not supposed to be about money and power, greed, dominion over others, this and that. Everything that was created was supposed to be helpful to us. And as smart human beings, we're supposed to know how far we can go with something. Yes? How to enjoy something without going overboard. Yes? Okay. So, this last part actually, one could, if one does not heed the warning, and obviously people didn't heed the warning at that time, it has gone on and on and on. We have around the world drug wars going on. We have things going on when it comes to all that that have reached into the realm of love, and whole countries are dominated by this stuff, and they don't want to stay in their own country. That's why they come here to do the same thing. Okay. Anyway, so I guess one other thing, this last part, actually not too bad. Take it back about being drunk while you wrote this, is a warning. And maybe we need to get back to learning on how to not overindulge in anything. Yes? Okay. Yeah. What did I start out with? That whale? One tiny little part. Deplete the ocean of a wonderful animal because of a tiny little part in their body that you want to eat. People nuts out there. Okay, anyway, so there, that's it. That's the end of 23. Yes, Eldritch, if you're watching, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, and always enjoy what you send me, some of the stuff. I don't know if it's just Facebook, whatever. Sometimes I don't open it just to make sure I don't get into something I don't want to be a part of. That's just me being cautious. So let me know what you send me. I could tell you that there too. Anyway, otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Even if you have to be in bed maybe today. Yes. And yes. May Heavenly Parent guide and protect you, bless you, embrace you with love, and I will talk to you all another time.